Derry, Maine, October, 1988. Bill Denbrough helps his little brother Georgie build a paper sailboat, dubbed the SS Georgie. Georgie wants to sail it outside in the pouring rain, but Bill is too sick to join him. Before Georgie goes out to play, the brothers hug each other.
Be careful.
Georgie takes his boat down the street. He chases after it. The boat sails to the end of the road before sinking into the sewer. A pair of yellow eyes appear as he looks into the sewer. Pennywise plays with Georgie before returning his boat. Georgie grabs it, only for Pennywise to grab his arm and sink his mighty teeth into it. The creature rips off Georgie's arm and then starts screaming for Bill before dragging him down to the sewers. 8 months later, June, 1989. Mike Hanlon is threatening to kill a sheep with a nail gun by his grandfather Leroy. Before doing the deed himself, Leroy instructs the boy.
You need to start taking more responsibility around here, Mike.
It's the last day of school. Bill and his companions Richie Tozier, Eddie Kaspbrak, and Stanley, who all work with the Losers Club, are off to start their summer.
How's it work? They slice the tip of his dick off, but then Stan will have nothing left.
Beverly Marsh is a teenager who is smoking in the bathroom. Greta leads a group of slutty girls who taunt her and accuse Bev of being a slut. One girl fills a garbage bag with water and dumps it on Bev, but she covers her head with her journal.
Now you'll smell better. Have a nice summer, Beverly.
Best feeling ever.
Unfortunately, they run into Henry Bauer and his goons. Bill tells Henry he sucks after the punk mocks his friends, and Henry approaches Bill. He walks away, but not before licking his palm and smearing it on Bill's face.
This summer's gonna be a hurt train for you and your faggot friends.
Beverly meets Ben Hascom, a new kid who is about to leave the house on her way out. He is judged on his height and he doesn't have any relatives. Bev signs his yearbook, and Ben seems to have a crush on her.
Stay cool, Ben from Soch class.
You too, Beverly.
When Bill returns home, his father Zach criticizes him for designing a model of the Derry sewer system because he still believes Georgie is only missing. Zach encourages him to accept that Georgie is dead.
But if the storm swept, we should have gone.
He's gone! He's dead! Now take this down before your mother sees it.
Mike goes to the butcher shop to make a delivery. Behind the door to the alley, he hears what sounds like screaming and pounding. The door opens and many shattered hands begin to stretch out. Mike then sees Pennywise, but is almost struck by the Bowers gang in a car. Stan is in the synagogue studying for his bar mitzvah. In the rabbi's office, there is a painting that creeps him out, depicting a woman with a distorted face. The painting falls, and when Stan picks it up, the woman is gone. It appears as the woman with a fanged smile as he turns around. Stan runs away. Ben is at the library researching Derry's past. He discovers that children in Derry have been disappearing under mysterious circumstances for centuries. After a series of books, Pennywise is depicted in the book, as well as a missing boy's head in a tree. Ben is then lured into the basement where he sees the headless boy before being chased out by Pennywise.
Boy!
The Bowers gang assault Ben on his way home. Henry's goons hold him against the bridge railing. Patrick wants to burn Ben with a lighter and bug spray, but Henry wants to carve his name into Ben's stomach. An old couple drives by and notice this but didn't stop, believing it is there because of a red balloon. Henry only cuts an H before Ben kicks him in the nuts and rolls over the bridge and into the woods. The punks chase after Ben. In the meantime, the losers are near the sewers, as Bill has convinced his friends to help him find Georgie. Ben falls into the water near them, and the boys grab him and bring him to safety.
Not every fucking plant is poison ivy, Stanley. It's your breath wafting back into your face. I mean, have you ever heard of listeria? No! What happened to you?
Patrick goes into the sewers to try to catch Ben, who is now separated from his friends. He encounters demonic-looking children who make him run, but he comes to a halt when he comes across a dead end. A slew of red balloons appear before him, and they all pop to reveal Pennywise, who immediately devours Patrick. The boys go to the pharmacy to buy cotton balls and bandages, but they are short on funds. When Beverly encounters the boys, she is there buying tampons. Bev tries to flirt with Mr. Keene, a pharmacist, after hearing their situation. He appears to be a creepy character to her, but she manages to keep him at bay long enough for the boys to steal their supplies and allow her to sneak away some cigarettes. When Bev sees the boys tending to Ben, she goes outside and joins the boys. Beverly goes home to her father, who is an even bigger creep than Mr. Keene. He comes up to his daughter, causing her to run into the bathroom, crying. She then proceeds to trim her hair until it is at a shorter length. The boys are at the quarry ready to jump into the lake, but no one is eager to jump first. Bev shows up and jumps first, leading the others to join. They have fun while swimming and hanging out. Later, Ben tells everyone about Derry's past life.
It's a cheer for all the fellas. Play hard to get females get jealous. Food is then you ate so much.
The history project. Oh, well, when I first moved here, I didn't really have anyone to hang out with.
When Eddie comes across an abandoned house on Neibold Street, Eddie is suddenly attacked by a leper, causing him to run through the house's yard. Pennywise is attempting to lure him toward him as he approaches the fence. Eddie runs under the fence and flees. Bev is in her room with a postcard with a secret admirer's poem on it. Bev is thought to be Bill, but it was actually Ben who wrote it. Bev hears the voices of children from her bathroom. She looks into the sink where the voices are located, and clumps of hair begin reaching out to grab her before a pool of blood pours down from the toilet. Bev is enraged when Mr. Marsh comes in, but he can't see the blood. She looks like a child because of her hair, he says. Bill woke up because of the raindrops on his bed. Bill is walking around the house when he notices Georgie running around. Shocked, he follows Georgie to the basement, which is flooding. Georgie steps out and invites Bill to join him. Pennywise emerges from the water and tries to rescue Bill, but he runs out of the basement. When the kids see Mike Spike and the Bowers gang's vehicle the next day, the punks come down by the creek to confront Mike for being black. Bev throws a rock at Henry's head, triggering a rock-throwing war between the two groups. As Henry is knocked unconscious, Mike runs over to the loser's side, while Vic and Belch run away.
Go blow your dad, you mullet-wearing asshole!
Bill describes what he saw in his house, as the kids walk away with Mike. Eddie defends him after seeing Pennywise. Mike explains what he saw and describes how his old house was burnt down by racial goons, and how his parents died trying to open the door down to his room. Their skin melted to the ground. Richie is the only one who hasn't been haunted, but he admits to being afraid of clowns. The kids go to Bill's garage, where they project a map of Derry over a projector. They learn that the sewers are connected to the Neibold house, where it lives. The projector then begins to work itself out, showing photos of Bill and Georgie with their parents, but with Pennywise's face rising over their mother. They knock the projector over, but it keeps playing until Pennywise emerges from the screen fully and starts grabbing the kids. They manage to get out of the garage before he can harm them. The losers go to the Neibold house to face it head-on. Bill, Richie, and Eddie are all inside the house, while the others are outside as lookouts. The losers are not aware that Henry is watching on them. Possessed by Pennywise upon outside the Neibold house with his face covered in blood, he watched the losers preparing to go inside the house with his sidekicks with cut on their neck, presumably with Henry's new acquired knife. When Pennywise discovers Eddie, he is separated from his friends. He falls through the floor and into the kitchen, breaking his arm. Bill and Richie are able to reach him through 3 doors. They open the first door to find a headless child. Richie is escorted inside a room full of clown dolls by the second door. He sees a coffin with a dummy of himself in it. Pennywise cries out, and he closes it. Richie is being attacked by him, but he runs out of space. Pennywise turns his attention to Eddie, but Bill and Richie rush to him before the clown devours him. Beverly then appears to drive a spear through Pennywise's head, causing him to retreat. Since seeing Eddie's broken arm, his mom discourages the losers from hanging out with him. Bill and Richie are then involved in a fight when Richie claims that this whole pursuit of Georgie has almost killed them. The losers split up because the other boys are too afraid to keep up. Henry, Vic and Belch are both shooting things with his dad's rifle. Belch is told to bring him a cat to shoot. Officer Bow to take the pistol from him. He then shoots the ground around Henry's feet to humiliate him in front of his friends and dismiss him as a slender jerk. Henry sees a red balloon on his mailbox later that day. A knife is embedded in the inside. He goes inside while his father is asleep with the television on. On the screen, a woman with children appears, all encouraging Henry to murder his father. He does so by sticking the knife in his neck and letting him bleed out. The kids on TV, all of its victims then start chanting, "Kill them all, kill them all, kill them all." Kill them all! Kill them all! Beverly's dad is attempting to act on his lust for his daughter, at the Marsh house. She fights him off and goes to the bathroom. Bev whacks Mr. Marsh across the face with a toilet lid, killing him when he comes to her. Pennywise spots her and takes her just as she is about to leave. Bill goes by Bev's house and finds her father dead in the bathroom and sees "You'll die if you try" written on the wall in blood. Bev has been kidnapped by it. Eddie's mother prohibits him from leaving and joining his friends, but he defies her when he confronts her over the placebos. He abandons her and joins his friends. You get back here! Don't do this to me, Eddie! The boys go to the Neibold house and find a well where it lives. They squat down a rope, but Henry comes up and assaults Mike before he can go down. He starts pulling the rope up to discourage the boys from regaining control. Henry tries to kill Mike with a nail gun he brought, but Mike fights him off and tries to push him down the well, causing him to die. Stan is attacked by it as the woman in the painting goes further into the well. She eats on his head, but the boys scare it away and comfort a bewildered Stan. All the boys venture further into the well where they find its lair. Under some sort of trance, all the children he's taken are floating up in the dead lights. Bev is found floating by the boys. They pull her down and Ben kisses her, and Ben helps her to get out of the trance. Georgie emerges from the shadows as Bill sees her. Georgie tells Bill that he missed him and was waiting for him to come for him. Bill hugs his brother, but he doesn't know it's Georgie, and he shoots him in the face. His body writhes on the ground until it turns into Pennywise. The clown threatens to kill the children, but they fight him off until he has a hold on Bill. Pennywise gives the others the option to die together or leave him with Bill. Bill encourages them to run, but Richie is the first to retaliate. The kids then start beating Pennywise until he is useless, unable to hurt them because they no longer fear him. Pennywise retreats into the darkness and thus escapes before Bill can strike the deadly blow to the clown's cracked skull. The kidnapped children then float downward. Bill then finds Georgie's raincoat. Georgie is now gone, he admits. Bill is in tears as his friends gather around him to hug him. It is now September. The losers swear a blood oath to return in 27 years if it returns. They hang out for a while before each of them gradually leaves, with only Bill and Bev remaining. She's planning to move to Portland right now. Bill comes up to her and kisses her as she walks away.